Damage fans, did you ever dream about being a professional wrestler? Well, guess what? Now you can, because May 17th and May 18th at the Monster Factory, they're having a beginner's camp. So guys, the number's right here, 609-471-7904. Call Danny Cage, guys, at themonsterfactory.org, and you can be a professional wrestler. And remember, you heard it here from RC, and you're about to get completely damaged.
Completely damaged! Completely damaged!
Damage fans, I'm here with Nevaeh Chantel. Nevaeh, thanks so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Now, for those that don't know, what inspired you to become a professional wrestler?
To be honest, I've been a fan of professional wrestling since I was 10 years old. I first started watching wrestling through my uncle. He used to have the VHS tapes. And my first VHS tape I ever watched was Unforgiven 2000. And I was just captivated with all the characters and the stories. And I remember watching Triple H versus Kurt Angle and literally falling in love with the story, the drama, and then the match and the intensity. So yeah, that's actually over the years just falling in love, and it's probably the one consistent passion I've had.
Talk about your first bump. What'd that feel like?
Wow, my first bump, actually, I had a tryout here at the Monster Factory, and we were doing a reality show at the time, and I literally did not suck my neck. Yeah, and I just remember the trainers being like, "Oh my God, is she okay?" But yeah, it was not pleasant.
Now, when you hear that, when first time you heard your music hit and you're walking down this aisle right here, what did it feel like?
Accomplishment, because I've worked so hard. It took me about 2.5 years to get my first match after training, and that first time, just hearing my music hit and coming out and having my match I had against Riley Shepard, it was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life, because I felt so accomplished that I, took a chance on my dreams, and I was able to come out and have a, great showing. The fans were supportive that night, and it's definitely the greatest night of my life. It's my debut match.
Now, what does Danny Cage and the Monster Factory mean to you?
The Monster Factory and Danny Cage gave me purpose. Danny Cage, I've never had somebody really drive support in me like Danny Cage. He really, wow. The Monster Factory gave me purpose. Like I said, I was, in Camden having nothing going for myself. And Danny Cage in this place has really gave me purpose in life, something to look forward to, and really just made me complete as a person.
Now, you're a wrestling fan. It's Wrestlemania weekend.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite highlights in Wrestlemania? Maybe one of your favorite matches?
My favorite match of all time will probably have to be Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 19. WrestleMania tomorrow is going to be huge for many reasons. Obviously, being a woman wrestler, tomorrow the triple threat match for the Raw and SmackDown women's titles. That the main event of WrestleMania. I've been watching women's wrestling all my life, from bra and panties matches to lingerie contests. So to see the women, 3 incredible athletes like Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte, to have the grandest stage of them all, that it's such an amazing. It's going to be a great night, and any woman wrestler who do not feel this giddy, I don't know why, because it's in my stomach thinking about it. I know I'm gonna get emotional that night. I cry for every big woman's moment. I know I'm gonna be bawling out in tears tomorrow.
So what are your goals for 2019?
My goals for 2019 is to make the Monster Factory women's division bigger, bring back our title. Also, I want to expand out, get my name out there, start wrestling different opponents, and really, make myself a force to be reckoned with in the indie scene.
Now, people want more information about you. Where can they go?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nevaeh Chantel, and also you can like my Facebook, Nevaeh Chantel, as well. Also, I have a T-shirt that's on smart pop culture, and yeah.
I appreciate your time very much, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, guys, stay tuned for more Completely Damaged.
Hi, this is Derek T. Lewis from the Monster Factory Pro Wrestling, and this is Completely Damaged.
Damage fans, I'm back here with Mimi. Mimi, thank you for your time.
Of course, it's very nice to be here.
Now, for those that don't know, what inspired you to pursue professional wrestling?
My older sister discovered it probably when I was about 12 or 13, and she showed it to me, and like almost immediately after watching like a few women's matches, I knew that this was what I wanted to do with my life. It's like, this is for me.
Nice. Now, describe your first bump. How'd that feel, and what was going the adrenaline like?
It actually, like, it was a little bit surprising, but it felt right. Like, I felt like this was what I wanted to do, and it wasn't like some people are like very shocked by like the immediate physical contact, but I grew up riding horses, so like a lot of like hard concussion wasn't like a new thing to me. So it's like, okay, this is kind of like painful, but like it feels right, and I know that this is still something I love.
Now, hearing your music for the first time, walking down this aisle, what was it like for you?
I was very lucky. I loved the first music that Davey picked out for me. It was just such an exhilarating experience. I was so excited, and it was a great time.
Now, for those who've never been to the Turkey Slam here at the Monster Factory, what can they expect?
Tonight's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's something a little different from usual. It's a like Rumble style battle royal. It's going to be a lot of exciting stuff tonight, and we're bringing some new people in, so I'm really excited for that.
Now, it's Wrestlemania weekend. What are some of your favorite Wrestlemania moments?
I would have to say my favorite Wrestlemania moment is WrestleMania 32, Charlotte versus Sasha versus Becky. It was just such a great match, and I was so excited that they were like bringing the women's title back, and it was like just like a full circle moment.
Definitely. Now, main event, women's get the main event, triple threat. What's that mean for you, and personally, and being a professional wrestler?
Well, I'm just so excited. I'm going to go see it live, so I'm looking forward to that. I think it's incredible what they've been doing, and I love that their storyline is really so compelling. They're not just like making history to make history. They're making history because everyone is really intrigued in their storyline, and they're just such great wrestlers.
Now, what does Danny Cage and the Monster Factory mean to you?
Danny Cage and the Monster Factory mean literally my opportunity to wrestle, because I am very young, so not all wrestling schools would be comfortable with me wrestling, but I've been so honored that Danny Cage will open his school to me, and it's given me so many great experiences already and many more to come.
Now, what are some goals for 2019 for you?
I would like to bring the MFPW Women's Champion back, because the championship is no longer active, and I would like to see it return this year.
Now, if people want more information about you, where can they go?
You can go to my Instagram at _the notorious Mimi _ or my Twitter at Mimi Her.
Mimi, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck tonight. Damage fans, I'm with Bobby Buffet, making his debut tonight at the greatest Turkey Slam in the Monster Factory. Bobby, man, what's going on? What's the adrenaline like, man?
Oh man, it's a lot of feelings. For this being my first match, everybody's excitement definitely blossoms around like WrestleMania weekend. I'm ready to take this thing home, man. You know how I'm coming.
How you feeling? You ready to go through that curtain, man?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready since I knew I was going to be in it. I see all the other competitors. I see them trying to prepare. They can't prepare for me. I've been preparing for them. I'm watching. They ain't ready.
You finally heard your name saying, okay, tonight's your night, man. Feeling the anger. Like, what are you feeling inside that gets you pumped up when you hear your name?
I just keep this mentality where I feel like, my name's Bobby Buffet. There's not a single person in this Rumble that's hungrier than me. So with that being said, who can beat me? I don't see nobody taking me over this top rope.
So for all the other superstars out there, man, what do you got to say to them?
You might as well not even come. But since you are, just prepare to get your food ate.
That's right. Bobby Buffet, thank you so much for your time, man. Best of luck tonight. Damaged fans, every Monday morning from 10 to 11 on MonkaRadio.com, you can hear me, RC, alongside Arthur, the Bullet Littman, and Matt Porter as we bring you Damage Radio. We have interviews with pro wrestlers, musicians, NASCAR people, and more. So make sure you get Damage Radio live. Damage fans, we are back here with a very familiar face. You might remember him from Damage Radio, Ferran Derry, or Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 AM, Ferran Derry. But here they know him as Ferran Burgundy, the play-by-play announcer here at the world-famous Monster Factory, man.
And apparently they're dimming the lights for me.
Yeah, is Undertaker here or something, man?
Anything can happen here at the MFPW, that's for sure.
So how's everything been going, man?
Well, it's been an interesting, strange ride, to say the least. I mean, I had been training for a while, those who had listened to Damaged Radio. And a couple of years ago, well, body decided not to agree with me, ended up having double hernia surgery. And that kind of took me out from the ring capacity, so I've been recovering from that and focusing more on the behind the scenes and commentary aspect of things, as I've been commentating for them since June of 2016. So closing in on 3 years now that I've been the play-by-play voice here at the MFPW.
You've been working towards that your whole entire life, basically, doing Pro Wrestling Weekly. You've been doing it for so long. This probably just came really natural to you, right?
For the most part. I mean, I actually started before I even got to the commentator's booth there. I was actually running the sound, the entrance themes, because of my experience in radio with, doing everything from audio editing some of the entrance themes. That came a little bit later, but initially just timing the entrance musics. That was just knowing timing and countdowns and things from radio. That was a natural transition, and then when a spot opened up on the commentator thing, they immediately put me on it, and I've gravitated to it ever since, and it's worked out really well.
Now, it's WrestleMania weekend, man. What was one of your favorite WrestleMania moments?
Oh, goodness. Well, in terms of moments, man, I've been fortunate enough to attend 2 different WrestleManias in person, so it's kind of hard to, categorize what you see on TV versus being there live, as it's a totally different experience. And the 2 different ones that I went to were two totally different experiences. I was able to go here in Philadelphia to WrestleMania 15, right in the peak of the Attitude Era at the, what was it then? First Union Center, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Core States, First Union, Wells Fargo, Wachovia, whichever the heck one it was. It's changed the names a lot over the course of the last 20 plus years. But that was certainly one experience, to then 6 years ago going up to North Jersey and MetLife Stadium, an open-air arena, or an open-air stadium venue where you had, I think it was just over 80,000 fans in attendance. 80,000 versus 20,000. Obviously, that's a huge differential there. But as far as my favorite moment, I don't know. I guess I have to harken back to when I was a kid and the ending, believe it or not, of WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart was one of my heroes back then, and seeing him having to go through losing to his brother Owen Hart earlier in the night, overcome that, and defeat Yokozuna to become World Wrestling Federation champion. That was something that me, as a then 12-year-old kid, that was just something that will always stick with me, the hoisting of Bret Hart up on everybody's shoulders and that moment in Madison Square Garden.
Now, people, there's a beginners camp coming here, May 17th and May 18th. What can people expect from this camp? They're interested in maybe trying out and lacing the boots up.
Well, expect a lot of physicality, expect to be very winded. A lot of what it's going to be for beginners is showing what kind of athletic shape you're in or are not in, and realizing how much is involved in getting into a ring. It's not necessarily just doing moves and holds and things like that, but there's a lot of cardiovascular aspects to it. There's a lot of just strength and endurance that's involved in it. So, you can expect to see a lot of squats, a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups. They seem like basic things, but they all help for a lot of different variations of things that are in the ring, whether it's jumping over the ropes, whether it's balance aspects. So I think that part of it, it's almost going to feel more like a boot camp, but there's also going to be some training of basic things, learning how to take a bump, because that, if you do that wrong, it can really hurt. That's for sure. Yeah, if you land wrong on your back, that everything's connected to it. So that can throw off a whole bunch of different things with the nerve endings and whatnot. But this isn't a biology lesson. This is an interview. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to that.
Now, I will never do it justice. I'm going to let you do it. People want to listen to you on Saturdays, man. Where do they go?
Sweet mercy. Here we go.
I know Matt Porter's listening right now, watching.
Oh, yeah. Porter, I'm sure, is enjoying this. So if you want to listen to the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio, which has been on the air now for just over 20 years, debuted back in February of 1999, Pro Wrestling Weekly. It is heard Saturdays from noon to 1 on 1490 AM WBCB, or heard anywhere around the world if you're not in the near Philadelphia area at WBCB1490.com. And it is a heck of a time, and I've been proud to have been the host of it for just over a decade now.
Fran, appreciate it, man. Great seeing you again. And guess what? You've just been completely damaged.
I most certainly have, and it's a pleasure as always, RC.
All right, guys. Stay tuned to more action here on CompletelyDamaged.net. Damage fans, first of all, it's an honor right now to be next to Danny, Mr. Get Done. Danny, we go way back, man, 2013.
Yeah, man.
And it's finally, I'm not a slacker anymore. I'm actually 2 times in a row coming up here, man.
It's awesome. I love having you out here, and plus it's good for the kids to get interviewed and get those reps in front of the camera and in front of the fans and get their face out there. I think it's awesome.
Now, last month we interviewed people, and I asked, what does Danny Cage and the Monster Factory mean to you? I learned family, loyal, father figure, coach. Now, flip it on you. What do these kids mean to you?
They're my kids. I mean, I just finished an interview with News, and they were asking me, it seems like these are actually like your kids, and they are. I have 2 daughters at home, but like I have like 40 kids here that I care for. I just don't, too many people, they think they're a coach, but a coach actually worries about the kids in and out of the ring, behind the scenes, what's going on in their life. That's what a real coach and a mentor is. It's just not somebody who teaches them cool moves. I have a open door policy, and these kids can come to me with any kind of issues, family issues, money issues, some people, depression, anxiety. There's so many different things. But I think it goes deeper than just teaching them some moves. I really honestly look out for our kids, and I care what happens to them. I don't want to see them become another statistic, whether it be in wrestling or in life in general.
Definitely. Now, you're a walking billboard. It says right on your car, anywhere you go. I got that great picture of you just putting me some thumbs up at the Monco, man. What have you learned now that you wish you knew back then that you would change when you first started?
Before I started training or coaching?
Both, actually.
I don't know if I'd really change anything, because I think like what got me here needed to happen to get me here. There's peaks and valleys, there's low points, there's high points, you learn from your mistakes. That's the key. Like I tell everybody, I love being wrong, because that means I just learned something. I'm not wrong often though.
No, never.
But in the beginning I was wrong a lot. But you learn stuff by being wrong.
You weren't wrong?
No.
You came up and you said what to do?
Yep, and they did it. They started doing it. I told them the formula, and they're slowly but surely doing it. But things need to happen, whether they be bad or good. That becomes it creates our character and who we are in general. I never went to college. I didn't have the greatest home life and all, but like if I had a perfect home life, and let's say I never got injured in wrestling, I might not be like such a good mentor. And actually, I always tell everybody, I try to be everything for everybody, because nobody was anything for me growing up. And that's the way I treat this. This is my life 24/7, and I have a wife I've been with now for 19 years. We've been together, been married for, I don't know. We don't even pay attention to that. We honestly don't. We don't give each other cards. We'd literally on Valentine's Day be like, cards this year? And we're like, nah. Like we just don't do that stuff. Like we're in love, and she supports us, and she was with me while I was wrestling. And, she's tonight with the kids and doing stuff. And if we have a show that falls on an anniversary or birthday, that's just the way it goes.
That's the best, having a teammate like that.
Yeah, and like she's got my back, and she never gives me a hard time about stuff. And I try to tell the kids, like, if you don't have a good support system, like it sucks. Like it's different to have no support, but what's bad is like if you have somebody in your life who's like trying to rip you down and basically setting you up for failure. That's really important. That's why I tell everybody, like, once you come in here, like, leave all your troubles outside. Like, just let this be your escape. Be here for 4 hours, 5 hours a night. Because I leave here, honestly, and I tell the kids, lock up when you leave. Like, I trust you. Stay as long as you want. If you want to hang out, watch the network, you want to do some stuff, I got security cameras. I don't have to worry about you guys. Just don't do anything dangerous. Don't get crazy, and just have some fun. And sometimes, I'll see them here till 1, 2 in the morning.
How did the ROH dojo, how did that all come about?
That was me basically just showing up all the time and being around. And eventually, they approached me like in 2017 about it, and things got shelved. But at first it was brought up in 2014. They said, hey, since the WWE has NXT in the Performance Center, what if ROH has the Monster Factory? And I was like, oh, okay. Then that fell apart. 2017 fell apart again. Then I started going around the dojo around 2018 just to help out and stuff, and led to a job, which it's pretty awesome. Like, to think, here's this kid that in 2011 everybody said had no business training, but I was just talking to another interviewer, and I had mentioned we've had the most people signed to ROH and WWE out of all the schools in the last 7 years, and some of those people have been doing it 30 and 40 years, and I've been doing it 7 years.
We have a beginners camp coming up and an advanced camp. People that want to come out, what do you say to them?
Just do it. Anybody can do this, honestly. It's just applying yourself. There's wrestlers now that are 5'7". You just have to work harder. Not everybody has to be 6'5". And my favorite, I don't want to do the camp just yet because I'm not in good shape. And I always say, how old are you? 24. You've had 24 years to get in shape. Odds are 6 months isn't going to make the difference. Why don't you come to me and I'll help get you in shape? You can't help but be in good shape here. That we work you, and that's what it takes to be a wrestler nowadays. This is you're a highly trained professional athlete. You know what I mean? You're putting in the work. You have to be in great shape. Your nutrition, everything has to be great, or you're just not going to make it. You're going to break down.
And I love how it's like reality show. Like someone's throwing up in the bathroom. You bet Danny Cage has the camera and he's in there showing.
And if they're not flushing the urinal because it just shows laziness, they're doing 100 squats. Everybody. And I just tell everybody. So it's funny because all of a sudden I'll go walking out the door and somebody will run past me to go make sure that they're flush because nobody wants to do 100 squats. It's just the way it is.
Let's talk about the Danny Cage podcast coming out, man. Talk about that.
Yeah. So I did a couple shows before, but I never got it into a habit of doing it because it was always with somebody else or I would not get bored with it, but I would be so busy I would forget, oh my God, I haven't done one. But since I've been doing this and having so many different coaches in and stuff and having all these different experiences, I've never had a really chance to get it out there and talk about all my experiences and bring in all the coaches. So now we're going to do it in series. The first series is going to be nothing but training and coaching stories and school stuff. And then what's going to happen after that is I'm going to go and we'll interview hot indie wrestlers on the scene and all that stuff and go to a different series and see, what comes of it. And it's going to be clean and family friendly and stuff. And it's cool because we have some people that do music here, so we're going to have them put some of their stuff on our show so they can get out and get some exposure and stuff. So it's a good way to just get out there and give reps. And plus then I can interview my students and it gives them reps and stuff like that.
Now it's WrestleMania weekend. What's one of your favorite WrestleMania moments?
Favorite WrestleMania moment? Wow. Because I watched them all. I'd probably have to say the Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant match. But see, at the same time, now that I think now it's that moment where Rock and Hulk Hogan are staring each other down, and them just sitting there and hearing the crowd, and then just sitting there and soaking it in. So many people now try to imitate that and draw that, but that was natural. That was just a crowd reacting and them reacting to it, and I think that's the very art of pro wrestling. But I'd have to say my favorite WrestleMania moment was Andre versus Hogan, and I'll say why, because there was such a good build to it. I mean, everybody knew that it wasn't the first time facing each other because I had old wrestling magazines from '81 with Showdown at Che and all that stuff, but just to see that build up and the drama in it and oh my God, this is going to be the guy that beat Hulk Hogan, and then for him, spoiler alert, for him not to beat him was just epic. So yeah, I'd have to say that was my favorite.
Now, we have to say if people want to follow more information about you, where they go, but they should already know, right?
Yeah, go to monsterfactory.org. Follow me on social media, The Danny Cage, Real Danny Cage on Instagram, For Monster Factory on Twitter and Instagram. Plus, my cell phone is 609-471-7904. Feel free to call and text me. I'm always available.
We got to get you back up to Damage Radio in the future.
I know, man. I definitely want to. I love it sitting in that studio and just bull crapping with you guys and talking wrestling. So I'll do it one time, and then, yeah, we're definitely going to do it.
And last but not least, man, what's your thoughts on Completely Damaged? I'd love to hear what you think.
I tell you what, I missed Carl's episode. So I love your radio show. I think it's refreshing because it's in an actual studio. You know what I mean? I think that's the coolest part is you're actually sitting down. You got the headphones on. You're not on a cell phone sitting in your car. You know what I mean? I think that's so cool and unique. So and I love the content because you guys have a fun twist on everything and you come from an insider standpoint, but also as a fan standpoint, and I think that's refreshing. You don't try to outsmart yourselves. It's really a refreshing show.
And I love how you make fun of me with with the notes and the paper and all that. You're like, dude.
Yeah. Enough with the notes. Just talk. Yeah, enough. Yeah. So is that all you got?
That's all I got, man. Danny, thank you so much. Oh, I know what the capital of Thailand is now, and I will bail when I see a king, guys. You just been completely damaged. Oh.